Have you ever felt like you have too many passions and too many plans and just not enough time? Yeah, well, me too. And this is what I've learned about having to find my rhythm again, especially in a whole new chapter of life. If you watch my previous few videos, you'd know that I had grand plans. But in reality, it's been months, I think, a few months at the very least, since I have created any long form content or posted anything here. To be honest, I think I got overly ambitious, and the reality is I have just been bogged down doing the work and trying to adjust to this next chapter of life. So what's been happening? Well, in that absence, I've actually been very busy, and I also got quite sick and then better again. In this period of the last few months, while I haven't been posting anything and I also haven't been active on my social media at all, I actually started a PhD and also moved universities. This had actually been in the works for quite a while. I had been planning for this transition, but it was never quite the right time, particularly, for example, last year with my health diagnosis. And so it ended up being quite the process just to get to this point of rearranging my life to accommodate for my new plans. So I found out that I got into the PhD program at the University of Sydney while I was quite sick. I was in the middle of the shingles. I was at the height of the shingles, and it is as painful as people say it is. In fact, it's painful, a expletive. And because of that, I ended up not making any big announcements. But it's been quite a shift, not just the PhD in itself, but I was also offered a teaching load. So I have moved my teaching work to the University of Sydney as well. And then in that time, as I recovered from being quite sick and then beginning the PhD, I also found that my new business had been picking up. So ever since I pivoted my business away from the previous one, which was focused mainly on consulting, workshop facilitation, and other professional services, I found that when I went back to my creative roots and really did some soul searching on what I really want to do in this next chapter, I found that everything really started to align. And so my business, my creative practice, and also even my freelance photography is picked up again, and everything aligns with my PhD research and my teaching at Sydney Uni. So I am doing my PhD in the School of Architecture, Design and Planning. It's called ADP, although I think planning is rebranded itself to urbanism. I'm in the design discipline. That's one of my original backgrounds. But my PhD is also across media and communications, and also looking at justice reform, so criminology. I guess I'll talk more about it as we go along. I'm not sure if I'm really ready to get into the depths of it right now. So given all that and my new workload, my new schedule, my new chapter in life, I really had to pause on all these content plans and rethink my strategy. And also I had to dig deep and think about what I have the capacity to do right now in terms of content, and also the purpose. So I really had to take a pause. But when I started these content plans, I had such grand plans and I thought I had momentum building. And one of the things that I've come to realize during this period of the last few months was that not every pause is necessarily a failure of building momentum, but that sometimes these pauses are necessary in order to gain clarity, for example, which is why I feel ready again to hopefully start producing content, at least on a semi-regular basis. I think that I do now have to get realistic about my capacity and my load. And also another thing that I was thinking about was that in terms of content strategy, that maybe the best strategy sometimes is to just live what you want to share or say in terms of living something worth saying. So on that note, I don't know if I'm going to go full-blown vlog style, but what I do know is that part of my PhD research, I plan to build in public, as they say in the startup world. And my PhD supervisor is aware of this and thought it would be a great idea for me as well. So I'll try my best to create content that's hopefully helpful and enlightening or inspiring, and also just take you along on the journey of what I'm doing at the moment through my research and my teaching and my business and creative practice. But for now, if you're one of those multi-passionate people that's navigating multiple creative practices, for example, I call myself a multidisciplinary storyteller or artist for that reason, because I have so many creative practices. Sometimes that's the easiest way to explain it. But also, if you work at the intersection of creativity and social justice, social impact, as I do, and also entrepreneurship, then I hope that me documenting my journey with this next chapter of my life will be helpful for you in some way, whether it's to provide insight or inspiration. All I know is it's not going to be neat. And so I am just going to try and share the journey as it is. I like to keep things real and authentic around here. And if there's anything specific that you want to hear more about, please do let me know. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to restarting this content journey with you.